Never underestimate your own intelligence, and also don't overestimate the intelligence of others, because we often tend to limit ourselves in what we want to do by thinking that we're not smart enough, or that we're not capable, or that we can't, which is just wiring in our brain. That's the problem. We struggle with believing in ourselves, which sounds very corny, cliche, and Disney movie. I believe it's just wiring in your brain. It's just neural patterns, right? Neurons firing and wiring in a pattern that's been learned throughout many years. And the sad thing is, a lot of people have it to be against them. We have it wired as to why we can't do it. And I'm not intelligent enough. I'm not this, I'm not that. I'm not good enough. Don't sell yourself short, okay? Concentrate on your assets. Concentrate on what you actually have. And from there, discover your superior talents, because you have superior talents. You might not be really good at basketball. And instead of focusing on that, focus on the fact that you're like super good at math. And then don't think, but this guy is better at math than me, because you might be better at basketball than that guy. It doesn't matter. Just focus on what you're good at. And then do more of that thing, Everybody has talents. Everybody is good at something. They just have to, number one, find it. Number two, go all in. And number three, be able to admit to themselves that they're worthy. Like, to actually get to confidence, you have to show yourself first that you're capable of doing the thing, which you, by the way, are. You just have to believe. So it all starts in there. It's not really about how much brain do you have. It's more like, how do you use what you have? Stop thinking about IQ and start just using the brain you've already been given, because you already have all the ability. You just have to believe you have it. You have to be able to see the ability first and then develop it. You have to start somewhere, because you'll suck at the start.
I will suck at the beginning. I will suck at this, I will suck at that.
Because you will slowly become better at it. It just is, it's inevitable. If you do something for a long time, again and again and again, doing the thing will get you better at it, which will cause you to be more confident at it, which will cause you to believe more in it. So you need to create this feedback loop. But for that to begin, you also have to believe that there is a better future out there and that you are capable of getting to that future, which is really hard. It is very hard to believe in yourself. You only get one brain, and it would be very nice if you got more. Like, say you wake up in the morning and you open the closet, put on your clothes, and then choose which brain you want. Okay, I'm gonna hang with my homies today, so I'll pick this brain to be goofy and silly. But then I'm going on a date later, so I'll change this one for this one. Then this one makes me seem interesting. And then I'll take that one out, and when I go to work or when I go to create something, I'll use the smart one. But sadly, you only have one brain, and you gotta use it the best you can. Remind yourself daily, hourly if needed, that attitude is more important than intelligence. And do that at work, at home, everywhere. Practice positive attitude.
Why should I be positive?
Well, because the opposite is negative. And which one do you want? This is about being able to wire your brain to see what you want. You have to be able to focus on what's positive in order for not to end up what's negative. I think it's Bill Burr who says, I'll probably bastardize this, but you should always think that it will go your way. You should believe that it will always work out and everything will be good. Because if you end up at the place and it doesn't work itself out and it sucks, you'll have to go through it twice. But if you think it's gonna be great, then until you hit the wall, it's gonna be okay. And then you hit the wall, and guess what? It's probably gonna be okay after the wall too. Then you only have to go through the suck of, like, you only have to embrace how much it sucks while it's happening, not before and after as well. Which is why you should, develop this mental attitude of like everything will be okay. You have to train your eyes to see that you can do it. And this is the problem. We see why we couldn't, instead of developing and cultivating the ability to see the possibility of yes. Because if you believe you can do something, you're gonna look for more solutions. The brain is gonna be able to create more solutions. But if you don't think that you can, the brain is gonna create more excuses. And which one do you want more of? Don't excuse yourself when hearing this. You have to be able to, say to yourself, okay, that's true, I do excuse myself a lot. Okay, what can I do to better that? Because I want to do better. I wanna be good at this. I wanna be good at that. I wanna feel good. I wanna do good. Make more money. Whatever the goal is, you're capable of doing it. You just have to do the thing. But be able to do the thing, you have to believe in yourself. You literally have to build a winning attitude. Because when your brain is wired to win, it looks for ways forward. It looks for the path into the better future. In my personal opinion, I don't see intelligence as the ability to hoard facts. I think it's about being able to create new ideas. And by hoarding facts, I mean memorizing everything. Like, of course, remembering things is very good. If you have the capacity to remember things, especially deep, complex topics, then of course that's going to be a good indicator of your brain power. Duh. But then also, if you're not able to use this to create something new from it, opportunities, or like say as an artist myself, if I'm not able to hear music from others, memorize it and be like, oh, interesting, and take the ideas of it, then meld it through my own brain and try to experiment with those and create my own thing, because that's pretty much how all music is made, right? Then there's no use for me to remember things. The true sign of intelligence is the ability to create something, you know? It's the ability to make things, which is what school often teaches us, to remember things, to memorize for the test, and then, you know, it's just there and often goes away at some point and it's not used, and like knowing a lot of things is useless. It's not valuable to a company you're working at, or it's not valuable to whoever you're providing services. The ability to think is at much greater value than the ability to memorize. Because anyone can record history, but only thinkers can make history. So ask yourself this: am I just storing information from others, or am I using my mind to carve out something new? Here's the hidden battle. Your brain is a machine built for comfort. Literally, through many years of primal evolution, we have developed this thing that is really trying to avoid any discomfort, any pain, any effort. Like, it's
Stupid.
but that's the mission of the brain, basically. Limbic system, animal part of the brain, it thinks like this. It thinks, okay, we have to avoid danger at all times, which is why it's so hard for us, by the way, to be positive, and why we have to cultivate and rewire our brain to be positive and look for, you know, solutions. But just imagine that we're in the forest. So the brain scans every single bush and behind every tree and every single ocean and every single lake and puddle. Like, is there a snake? Is there a tiger? Is there a spider? Could there be enemy tribes nearby? Will I die today? Will I die today? Will I die today? What can we do to avoid? And it makes sense, you know? But the thing is, it goes against what you can do. It's like, with the brain now needs another couple of thousands of years to rewire itself genetically to be able to be more of a winning thing, you know? It wants to, because we want to be able to do these great things. But to be able to do that, we have to get away from the wiring of avoiding risk-taking, because risk-taking is what gets you further in life, no matter what you're trying to do. Because comfort doesn't build, effort does. And that's why a lot of people lose their potential and lose their possibilities, not because, you know, they're lazy or stupid. It's literally because they believe they can't. Because the brain has been wired to avoid discomfort as to stay safe, which makes sense, right? The brain is trying to not put in effort so it can allocate mental power and physical power to when it's needed. Again, not useful in today's age, but that's just the animal part of the brain, not the prefrontal cortex thinking brain, it's the limbic system. Think about it. If you genuinely had all the belief in the world, you truly believed you could do it, even if you were
Exhausted.
you'd still get up and try and push and, you know, do it again and again and again and again and again and again. You'd go past the point of being like, no, I can't because I'm a little tired and my foot hurts. Like, no, you'd be like, let's do this thing. Yeah, excited, you know. oh, I have a headache, but who cares? I'm gonna do the thing because
Yes!
if you had the belief, you would do the thing no matter. But since we are wired to not, then any opposition is like, oh, no, no. Now we have to go back to the cave and sit there and cry. And also, when you try to rewire your brain for success, it's very painful because the brain is like,
Oh no! Oh, he's trying to not. Look out for anything that's dangerous, that's really dangerous! Ah!
and it's the brain gets like stressed about it. But you have to, keep doing the thing. So laziness is very rarely truly laziness. It's more often disbelief, wearing the
mask of fatigue.
because you do really want to do it. True laziness would be more like I don't genuinely deep down don't want to do it and don't feel like it. But most often you actually do want to do the thing. It's just that you don't believe you could and then you don't do it because of that, which sucks. So in the end, the work isn't motivating yourself, it's rewiring the brain. Every action you take against this old pattern creates a new wire. Because a thought isn't just this abstract thing in the little cosmos, it's in the brain. It is a physical thing. The brain has picked up on how you think, and your thinking is just, neurons wiring and firing together. They're sending messages back and forth, and that's the pattern, which often is what you need to rewire, because the thoughts in your brain might not always be true. In fact, most of the time, your thoughts aren't really true, and they aren't really you. They're just things that come up because programs and wiring throughout many, many years, throughout whatever your parents told you as a kid, what you watched in the TV, what video games you played, what your friends told you, or you saw your mom point at a spider when you were 3 years old and she said, now you're afraid of spiders. The pattern that once screamed, stay safe, avoid effort, don't try, is slowly replaced by thoughts like effort is growth, action is comfort, belief is natural. But it's just very hard, this is the hardest part of anything, to rewiring your brain is much harder than going to the gym and lifting, because you just go yeah. Have you ever noticed this isn't that hard? You just pick up a weight that you are comfortable lifting and you just do like this. That's a bicep curl. The hard part is making yourself do the thing, which is the fucking wiring in your brain that goes, no, I don't want to go to the gym today because I feel bad, and if I go, I feel no. Discipline is literally just rewiring your brain to be able to do things you don't want to do for the greater good of yourself. Because you actually deep down want to do it, it's just the brain doesn't want to do it, because why would you go and use and expend energy if you don't have to? That's the rewiring. That's
The shift.
doing what you actually want to do, even though your brain is saying, so, never underestimate your intelligence. Don't overestimate their intelligence. Do not measure your brain. Manage it. Don't count on how many smarts you've got. Just use what you already have. Because in the end, intelligence does not decide who wins. Effort does. Belief does. Attitude does. And those are choices you'll have to make every single day. And you can, and I believe you can, and I believe I can, and everyone has the ability to can. Remember now, this is just me talking to me. And if you feel like I'm talking to you, and you feel like my points are valid to you, cool. Now, if you really enjoyed this video, it would be really cool if you liked and subscribed, because, that would help the algorithm notice the video and push it to more people who would possibly like it and therefore benefit from my message that I give to myself to them, if that makes sense. So that'd be really cool. If you didn't like it, then, just leave an angry comment about how stupid I am. That's okay too. Or not. You can also be completely neutral. Alright. Love whoever's watching this. Mwah, and bye-bye.